Hey everybody, welcome to this quick video where I'm going to show you how to download data for the lab off of a server and save it onto the hard drive of your computer and create a good folder structure that you can then use for the labs. If you're not in my class, you definitely don't need to watch this video. Okay, so here we go. The most important thing you need to know is this link. I hope that you can read it on the video. Probably want to write it down somewhere. This is the folder where all of our lab data is going to be hosted. So you type that in, press enter, it will take you to this folder. All you got to do is left click and it will download. If you're on a Mac, you may need to do something else. You might try a right click, I'm not sure. Here it is. On a PC, I can then right-click this and say Show in Folder if it didn't prompt me for where to download it. If it did prompt you for where to download it, I'll show you where to put it in a second. Anyway, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to grab it. I'm going to cut it. So I'm going to right-click, Cut. And now here's where you need to decide where on your hard drive you want to situate the folder that you're going to use throughout this course. Okay, it needs to be on your hard drive, not a network drive. One example, you could just put it right on your desktop. Okay, so I'm going to go to my desktop. Here I've already got a folder created, GL322. I'm going to go in there. I have another folder created called Labs. I'm going to go in there. Here I've got a folder called Lab 1 Intro. So I've actually already got some stuff in here, so I'm going to delete all that for the moment. And then once that's deleted, I'm going to right-click and paste this file in. There's the zipped file. If you're on a PC, so in case you didn't know it, a .zip file is a compressed file. You have to unpack the file so it will expand the contents into a regular file structure. I'm going to right-click, extract. You could just use extract all is an option that should show up on everyone's computer. If you're having trouble, you could install the software 7-Zip, which also does the same thing. I'll just use extract all. It's showing me a path for where I might want to put it. As a default, it always puts the kind of file name as a folder. I usually go ahead and delete that because I don't want it to create an extra folder when it unpacks things. So I delete that and I just want it to unpack or extract right into this folder that I'm already in. So I'll hit extract. It's just going to unpack this folder and you'll see that within this folder or within this zip file I had two folders already made for you, data and tutorial. Okay? So tutorial are the files you'll typically be using as you watch the pre-lab videos. So if the pre-lab videos call for files, you'll find them in this tutorial folder. Data is usually going to be the input data that you'll use for the actual lab itself. So often you will be doing this download before you even watch the pre-lab videos. Notice when I go into data, I've got a shape file, I've got a TIFF file, they're both right in there. One other thing you can do, once you've successfully extracted the zip file, you can actually delete it. So I'm just going to hit the delete key and it's going to go away and then you can empty your trash to get rid of it. The final thing I'm going to do is actually make a new folder called output. So I'm going to right click on my PC, on a Mac it's going to be something different, and I'm going to go to new folder and I'm just going to call it output. This is where you are going to put any files that you create during the pre-lab or during the lab. And the reason we create a new folder is it's typical or it's conventional for people who are working in computer science or in GIS that you kind of separate your pristine input data from your messy output data. You never want to save outputs into the same folder as your inputs. It's just a really bad habit because things get messy and crazy. So we always create an output folder Then within that, you may want to even create additional folders. For example, I will commonly create, or actually you might even here, for example, you could create one called pre-lab, another one maybe called lab, and then sometimes within those even I will create other folders. I'll often create a folder for my shape files, and you'll learn what those are in a minute if you haven't. And maybe another folder for my rasters. And then sometimes I'll even create a folder called Scratch, where if you just have a throwaway file, you can put it into the Scratch folder where you know you're just going to trash those results. Okay, so once you've got everything on your hard drive, you got a few output folders created, you're ready to move on to the next pre-lab video. Thanks.